Oh, okay.
Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am your crone of the word type people. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting, also known as the Dragon Slayer. To my side, that side, we have Miss Krista Ducharme, the Crystal Crone, wandering, travel-going crone, and just all around awesome. One wonderful person with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And of course, supporting us from below, as always, we have the numerology crone, the astrology crone, the stargazing crone, Miss Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Hey, ladies, how you be?
Great.
Awesome. How you?
I'm good. If I could just get, you know how that feeling with your hand falls asleep and it's pins and needles?
Yeah.
It has been like that. It's been like that constantly for me for the last 6 weeks or so.
Yikes.
Yeah. So it's people want to like just blow it off and go, oh, it's carpal tunnel. I don't think so. I think I slept badly and it pinched a nerve in my neck and that nerve going down my arm is just completely. Sometimes it gets better. Sometimes it gets worse, but I'm about ready to cut it off. Because, you know how it gets all tingly?
Oh, please don't cut it off.
Well,
yes, I do actually know that.
So how are you?
I do get that.
You get visitors and traveling and all kinds of amazing stuff going on this week. Bring us up to speed.
Yes. Okay, so last week you guys saw me in Naples, and it was really awesome because, of course, when we recorded the show, Zachary hadn't started leave, or did he start leave? No, we flew in Monday, so he was asleep. Mm-hmm. He was asleep. He had just started leave. He was asleep, and so now we left him Sunday night. We walked him back to the ship. And then Monday we flew back from Naples, Italy to here. And the ship went off to be doing ship things. But what was super cool, those of you who follow me or those of you who are my friends, because I don't put this on my follow stuff. There are reasons, security reasons. But I was able to get an awesome, actually more than one, several awesome shots of us on our airplane flying directly over the aircraft carrier.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
It was very nice. Super cool. So and we flew in last night. Well, actually, it was yesterday afternoon. So we left this gorgeous sunny weather and flew into snow.
Yeah.
Wow. But we did go out to our favorite schnitzel joint. And we had a beer, some schnitzel, some spatzel or German mac and cheese, which is made with spatzel and cheese, and it's so yummy. And we had Belgian fries and carved up some more. Mm-hmm. Because we hadn't had enough carbs down in Italy.
Yeah.
However, we walked the majority of it off, so we averaged 12,500 steps a day.
Wow.
Yeah, when we were down there, and so we were working our little tuchusses off. But and then we drove home. We got in about oh my gosh. So I have to share this. So our last flight yesterday, our first flight, I don't remember the number of it. However, our seats were in aisle A, 880, aisle 8. And I thought that was really cool. And I was like, that's a really good number. I like that number.
Yeah.
And I was like, So we get to our second flight, and Tracy, and I'm not really paying attention to the flight number itself. I'm just trying to pay attention to going to Dusseldorf, right? That's all, because we had like 40 minutes of a layover. And Tracy looks at our boarding pass and she goes, am I reading this right? And I look at her, I'm like, reading what right? And she says, our flight number is 2022.
Wow.
It gets better. Our seat row was 22.
Oh, wow.
We landed at 4:44.
Nice.
So the numbers, the multiple digits didn't stop there. So we get into the car and we're driving out, and the cars, the plates and stuff, they weren't having just double numbers. We were seeing in sequence triple numbers 1 through 9.
Wow.
Multiple times. Not only did we see triple numbers 1 through 9 multiple times, we started seeing quadruple numbers 1 through 9. It was amazing. It lasted all the way up until we got back here to the house. And when we arrived back at the house, it was 8:44 p.m.
Oh,
Very
wow.
nice.
Yeah.
The angels are speaking to you guys.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And not only that. So then Tracy and I, we go to bed, and it was funny. I got in bed and it was 11:11 last night. It's very funny. Tracy had to pack. So I stayed up and packed with her. Well, I stayed up and kept her company. Well, she did that. She packed, but it was really funny. So we get in the car, we're driving down the road, heading. So we came in for Dusseldorf, Germany yesterday, and she flew out of Brussels, Belgium today. So I'm driving down to Brussels to drop her off, and immediately, right off the bat, triple numbers, not doubles again, not quadruples, triples, all the way down 1 through 9. But not only did we get the triples 1 through 9, we started getting the doubles as well. It was unbelievable. We have photos, ones that we could take and stuff, but it really was mind blowing. So then on my way back, I'm driving. Here it comes. I know this is a very long, boring story for those of you who don't understand the awesomeness of double numbers and triples. But on my way back, it's an hour and a half drive, and all I'm getting are doubles. Except for me, I only get doubles 1 through 4. So it's very interesting because that's what I kept seeing. And and so I told Tracy, I'm like, those triples and those quadruple numbers were all for you.
Yeah.
Because it was, it was amazing. It really was.
All that gunk in the way of receiving them anymore. Her angels are going, party.
There you go.
And yeah.
She's embarking on a new journey now, a new job. Look at Krista.
Yes, she is. Yeah. Yeah. And she's actually on her way home. Tomorrow, Thursday, she's baking cookies, her shortbread, her holiday shortbread. So her baking weekend, if you want to order cookies from her.
And that's
so
right.
Put the order in today.
I know that there was some sort of exchange thing happening. Like somebody was supposed to bring her new cookie cutters. And I want to know if she got them.
Yes, she has them.
Yay!
She has them.
Okay, good.
And I've actually seen what they look like in photos. So Tracy, I don't know if you're on.
You can't watch visually, but she's commenting with us. So
okay.
Yes, she is commenting. But I was going to say, if you can, you can't post into the group, but you can send it via messenger to Gayle, and maybe she can post your cookie pictures.
Oh yes, I would like to see them.
Yeah, messenger.
But yeah, if you want
pictures of your cookie cutters, and then also like your prices for like a dozen or whatever you do.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a worth. But she's doing the baking this weekend because she starts her new job next week and isn't sure she's going to have time for, doing huge orders. So we're all about getting the orders in. So yeah,
it's her own little shop.
Yeah. It's amazing. So for any of you who ever pay attention to numbers, I mean, not just when Damaris talks about numbers, look around you. They show up in all kinds of ways. Like for me, I look not just at license plates, and nor does Tracy. It just so happened because we were driving, it was all about license plates. But I mean, they show up in, the clock, they show up on buildings, numbers, even I'll see them in all kinds of ways. So because those are messages, and those are messages that are, your people are working for you, and they're supporting you, and they're showing you that they're cheerleading you on.
It's so funny because Neptune went direct on the 4th. I mean, I don't know when you started seeing all those numbers, but Neptune went direct on the 4th, and it's, the veil is definitely thinner and thinner and thinner, especially with that, going direct. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but I feel like, when you're attuned to it and you're paying attention, you could see it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's interesting is that
Awesome.
guys know that I got the license plate 3 Crones in Michigan, right? Well, now that I moved to Vermont,
yes,
another license plate, right? So I've got the 3 Crones one ready to like post on the wall and framed or whatever. But I wasn't going to get the 3 Crones in the Vermont because the only time that you can do a personalized license plate is if you're supporting one of their nonprofit initiatives, right? And their nonprofit initiatives, that you have their logo on the plate. And the only one that came even close to the plate that I wanted had the logo of a loon. And I didn't want a loon paired up with 3 Crones.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
Well, yeah,
right? Look, I just don't need to invite that. So I got a standard license plate, and it came.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, right. It came in just completely random, right? They just handed it right to me, and I opened it up, and it was 999.
Wow.
Yep. And get this, the letters on it are KGT. Katie, Gayle, and Tatum.
Wow.
And I'm the continuation of my mother. I mean, there is so much witchcraft in the female line in my family. It's kind of funny. And we're all like mini me's of mini me's of mini me's. So if there would have been 4 letters on it, I'll bet you there would have been an S for my mother's name. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, I just love it. Allison's, while we were talking, she just saw 3 12s.
Wow.
Love it when it gets into those the double digit, triple digits,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We have to pay attention.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, this week we had the Moon and Woo, and it was actually really, really good. I haven't recorded, Krista. I got to get that over to you somehow so you can upload it into Patreon. Although all of our Patreon members that were at the Amethyst level got into it and were on screen with us this week. Everybody came. That was phenomenal. And it was a lot of fun. We did pretty well. We hobbled along without Krista. But yeah, we had a good time. So my cordial invitation to all of you, upgrade to Amethyst and come play with us every other week and prepare for the upcoming moon phase. This full moon that's happening 2 days from now. So you're going to start beginning to feel it right now, right? It's going to come in on the 8th and it's going to be full moon in Gemini. So we're going to be blending and balancing our human side and our spiritual side and completing the work that we started back in the new moon in June of 2022. So remember back to where you were there and see what has unfolded for you. Krista, Damaris, and I were talking about that in the thing. And in the June new moon, I did a pretty intensive prayer for my angels and the universe and Lady Diana in the moon to get me the fuck out of here. Boy, did she show up in spades. Because like within a month, I was on my way to Vermont thinking I was going to visit. Now I'm here. I've got jobs. I've got friends. I've got family. I've got a beautiful apartment. Man, when you with intention, with energy, emotionality, request of the universe during a new moon, boom, magic happens.
Yeah. Amazing. And you're the poster child always.
That is so true.
I'm imagining myself in bandages and crutches when you say that. For MS or something, muscular dystrophy telethon.
Oh, no. Well, that's how you got your name, the Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, buddy. Awesome stuff. All right, Miss Damaris, how about you give us... Oh, awesome, Sue. Thank you so much for saying so. And you know what? You've got a very, very, very good point right here. An Amethyst membership would be an awesome gift.
Oh, that's awesome.
It would. Yes. It really would. So
truly, it would be a fabulous gift.
Awesome. Okay. Tracy is now in the air. Anybody feel inclined, please send travel to keep out of the engines. You know how all that works. All righty.
The angels are protecting her. They were showing her with those numbers.
Exactly. All right, Miss Damaris, let's hear what you've got to say for this.
All right, so I'm going to say a little bit about what I said yesterday. Krista wasn't on, and a lot of our audience wasn't, on the moon and woo. So the full moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is opposing the sun in Sagittarius. So when you hear the word oppose, there's conflict there. It implies conflict. It's like inner conflict, right? And I'm saying inner because it's within all of us. Gemini is all about communication, and Sagittarius is all about ideology and beliefs. So we have this kind of war going on within ourselves and with other people, I guess, where we're, we stand in our beliefs, and sometimes, we fight for those beliefs to death, but sometimes we may not be in the right belief. We've been lied to for a long time in so many different ways. And the only way to know the truth is to go within and connect, right? That's why that Neptune energy is there, especially when direct. And it's there for us to find our own truth and to see what resonates, not to listen to someone else, the media, the news. It's just to go in and see what really resonates. God speaks to us when we're in that mindfulness meditation, right? And when we go within, and that's how the only way we'll know what's true and not true. We also have Mars, which is in retrograde and is joining the moon in Gemini, the full moon in Gemini. Now, Mars is a warlike planet. And I feel like, we're not just in a war of words, we're also in a war of beliefs. So it's discernment is so important, during this time. And discernment is a spiritual gift where we see what resonates and see what doesn't. and leave behind what doesn't. I always say, we're overfed with information and undernourished. Just because we get so much information, the information that we get may or may be useful. So it's up to us to discard whatever is not useful. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so it's the mind. The mind is always thinking, it's always working, it's always analyzing. Sometimes when we analyze too much, we have analysis paralysis, where we get stuck in confusion and we don't know which way to go. That all could be happening to people right now. So we definitely have to just see what information is no longer useful, what belief systems we need to let go of and adapt a new way, a new perspective, if you will, of seeing things. We're supposed to be growing and evolving spiritually. Again, that's that, Neptune energy, and also the Jupiter energy. The Jupiter is our ascension, our evolutionary process. It's also lifting the planet. And so we can't go with, a mind full of stuff into a new perspective, because we're just dragging the old into the future, kind of thing. We have to empty the mind, like they say, and that is very difficult. Even for us that we do spiritual work, it's very difficult to empty the mind. But we can learn new things with a mind full of stuff. And so we definitely have to sort of like empty what's not necessary, empty old belief systems, and adapt new ones that are more with the times that we're in now. If you guys have any questions or anything to add?
Yeah, you say that it's not easy, it's difficult to empty the mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not really here's the thing. If it's difficult to empty the mind, it's because you're trying.
Yes.
You truly just have to release.
Yes.
You just have to let it go. Yeah. Right. And that's so difficult for us to do, is to just let it go.
Yeah. We hold on to grudges too,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And my stepfather was a great one for that analysis.
And grudges.
Go ahead, Krista.
I think she's letting you go.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say grudges, and that it's exhausting. Being someone who overanalyzes, that's you're putting your energy into something you have no control of.
Yeah.
What you can control is trust in your own decisions, in your own journey. And oh, by the way, if you screw up,
she's cutting off.
Yeah, you're cutting up so bad.
We all have boo-boos.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The interesting thing about what Krista was trying to say just there is holding grudges and all that is extremely exhausting.
Yes.
Now here's the science behind that. Okay. If you've ever noticed people who have a lot of, hold a lot of grudges, hold on to a lot of resentments, and need, and get to analysis paralysis, where they constantly need more information before I can choose. Right. Right. Notice most of them will be, if not obese, at least overweight. Now, here's why. In my theory, this is my theory. The brain consumes fat. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the fuel for your brain. Your body uses carbs, your brain uses fat. Okay, so when you are using your brain, overthinking, overanalyzing, forcibly remembering what they did wrong so that you can be right. Okay.
Yes.
All that, you're consuming a lot of what little fat you allow into your diet anymore, right? So then your body starts craving more fat because the stores that your brain needs to work with are very, very low. So then you end up eating an abundance of fat to get that well back up, but you don't actually burn off the carbs that go with that fat, so it stays around your middle.
Crazy. When you really think about it that way, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't know that because we're not taught about nutrition. We're not
That's
taught
right.
about medicine
That's
as
another
food.
thing, right? With this whole belief and changing our beliefs and perspectives, we spoke about yesterday about religion, a little bit of religion, the medical industry. I mean, it's every aspect of our lives that we need to sort of like, take ownership and take responsibilities for ourselves and our health and, what we believe in religion. We talked about how they took books from the Bible, or they rewrote the Bible, if you will, to their ideology, to their agenda, to fit their agenda. And so we have to, the only way, I had a conversation earlier today about beliefs in religion or spirituality. And my friend was saying, I don't know if I believe all that stuff of spirituality. He grew up in church. And so he's so much, into that. I was like, it's not like I want you to change your beliefs. I just want you to expand your mind. And really, that's what Jupiter is there for, to expand our minds. Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, can be very open-minded or very closed-minded. And, it's like an umbrella. If it's closed and you're walking in the rain, it's useless. You need to open it, right? It's a parachute. If you, jump out of a plane and your parachute is closed, it's useless. You end up dying. So the same thing with the mind. We have to open it. We can't overthink, because then that creates all sorts of issues. They say when you overthink, you make problems that don't even exist. Because you're projecting, you're thinking into the future. You're saying, oh, this could happen or that could happen. But you're just basing all of that off the past and things that you've heard other people go through. And so we're now creating a future that we really don't want to live into when we overthink. And when we we project, right? And so we're going through so much right now individually, breaking out of, I would say, a matrix. That's the only word I can use. Breaking out of it, breaking free of it, breaking free of old beliefs, old limitation, old things that don't no longer serve us in the time we're in now. They might have served 50 years ago, but they no longer serve us. And that's what we're trying to break free from. All of these, belief systems and limitations and, things that are not serving us, really. So it's very difficult what we're all going through individually, but some people are not even aware of all of these things, and they're just going about life like nothing's wrong. And in reality, there is wrong if we're still stuck in the past. We want to move along with the ascension of the planet, if you will. And that's what everything that's happening is helping us do. But some people are not going to. They'll fight to death for what they've been taught. And it may not be true. Like my friend, like what I was saying, he was raised in a religious family. His father was a pastor. And so he's got all of these, indoctrinations, if you will, embedded.
Well, it just because the Bible is the Bible doesn't mean it's wrong. There's a passage in there that says, raise a child up in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it.
Yes.
And that is how the brain works. What you grow up in as a child is the way life is. And some people never find a reason to question their reality.
Yes.
Why is it this way? Does it really work best this way? Is somebody selling me a bill of goods here to get their own agenda across? And pretty much, all the way around, we have been fed the American way, the American dream.
Yes.
All of the things that have fed into supporting that structure of reality that benefits the larger group. I'm going to say
100%.
corporate body, as opposed to the small business person or the individual art or craft maker, right? And that's a lot of what is, crippling us as a country right now, because the small business person and the individual artist have no way to be self-sustaining because everything has been given to the larger corporate body.
I love that you're saying that, Gayle, because I experienced that myself personally. I had a store before 2020 and I had to close it during the shutdowns. And so even before that started, it started changing where people would go to Amazon rather than going to a, small business and shop. And what that did also was took away the interaction, the personal interaction, the human connection. And so these big corporations are taking that away, where if we keep going that way, soon we won't have shops to go into. We will have to do it online. Right. And so because people can't afford, the rent or all of, if people are not coming in to shop, if everybody is shopping online, right?
Yeah.
And so
we could do an entire Christmas special just on
we should
what's missing in American life because of all of this. But right now I want to hear a little bit more about that number of today.
Yes. So the number 6, it's all about family. It's all about friends. It's all about love. It's all about gardening. It's beauty. It's harmony. It's ruled by Venus. And so it is a Christ-like energy, because it's all about compassion. It's all about love. It's all about, nature. It's about animals. And so that's the energy we need to really go into, right? That 6th energy of harmony and love and peace. That is really the energy that, that is the bridge also of forgiveness, that energy. It's really a beautiful vibration. It embodies the essence of, kindness in humanity. And that's what that energy is all about. And I wish I could live on that energy on a constant basis. Some people piss me off and it throws me off, but I try to get back on it,
Yeah.
Especially with everything that's going on with people, standing in such belief systems that they'll fight to death about it. Sometimes you get into different conflicts, with different people. But I try not to do that, just let people be and live and let live, kind of energy that I have adapted recently. I don't know about you ladies, but I think it's the easiest, where we don't get into, power struggles, if you will.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the power struggle, I guess, and for me it's because I'm around such diversity. I really have to. I have to just appreciate in the space, appreciate other people for who they are, not try to bestow what my thoughts.
100%.
And not decide, and make the decision that's interesting to learn from them and their side. It's not about one being right or another being right. It's about us being community within and with all our differences.
100%.
Yeah,
I agree with that. 100%. So that's that energy of the 6. It's really that. Just, living and let others live, however they want to do it. But I'm sending it to you, Krista.
Well, that's freaking awesome.
Now, Gayle, I'll send it to you.
If they don't
I'm going to send it to you.
We want them to live, then, give them a gift. And the best gift is stickers. All right, Miss Krista. Now this technical director is going to send it over to you. Woohoo!
Hi, y'all. It's all good. Thank you so much. And hey, anyone who wants the stickers, get to me. I can get them to you guys out in the mail at the latest. For me to make sure it gets to you for Christmas is Tuesday.
And they make great stocking stuffers.
They do.
Phenomenal.
They make fabulous stocking stuffers.
They do.
Yes, they do. So I wanted to make sure that, and just as an FYI, our stickers are all over Mount Vesuvius.
Ooh,
Yay.
I love it. I love it. Yay.
That's what happens when I travel with taggers.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
Yes, I am not going to specify. I do have photographs, so I will post some of them. But so yes, so if you happen to be climbing Mount Vesuvius, don't worry, it's just a 2.5 hour walk. And it's Trail 5. Yes. You'll see our stickers on Trail 5.
There's actually a lady really quick that draws on shells, and she puts them everywhere, and people find them and put them on Facebook. I found your shell here or there. So it's really nice to do that.
Oh, we have stickers in a variety of places here in Europe. I'm not sure if I've gotten them going around in the US, but we need to up our game. I don't use the really nice, they're nice stickers, but not the really nice stickers to do that.
Like the holographic ones.
Yeah, the holographic ones don't go. Yeah, don't do that. However, so I wanted to share that and let you guys know. And the crystal of the week is actually, did you guys tell everybody it's blue lace agate? But yesterday, did you share with the Moon and Woo the crystal? I was like, I'm in the air and it's screaming at me that that Morganite is the crystal.
No, I didn't hear that.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video. I need to do something for our Patreons. And guys, you're going to want to watch this one because I'll probably do it. I'll record it. But let me tell you, it is working very well for you guys on the Patreon side with the blue lace agate. So blue lace agate is about communication. Now, Gayle talked about that. Damaris has talked about that, the energy of communication. And here's the thing about the whole trick with the communication. We have 2 ears, we have 1 mouth. We need to listen far more than we speak. And I say this, and it's one of those
we don't get in trouble that way.
Well, A, you don't get in trouble that way. And B, if you actually start listening to what people are saying, you're going to find that you build a different relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to find that you learn a lot of different things about you.
Yeah.
And you're going to find that by listening, your compassion, your understanding of what compassion is will shift and change. And your understanding of sympathy and empathy will grow.
Yeah.
Because believe me when I tell you, sympathy is far different than what people think. Right. So best way, I'm going to use Brene Brown's description. Sympathy is you walk up to a dark hole and you look down and there's somebody at the bottom of it. Oh, hey, how you doing? It looks dark down there. Do you need something? I can get you a sandwich. All right, you're good? Okay. Well, let me know if you want a sandwich. That's sympathy. Empathy is you walk up to that same hole with your friend down there and you look, oh, hey. Oh, it's really dark down there. Hold on. I'm coming down to you.
Now you're both stuck.
And you go and you sit with them. And you're like, do you need a hug? Here, let me give you a hug. And let's just sit. Maybe, I'll sit with you until you feel better. That's empathy. So we have a tendency to use our mouth and miss both. I'm just as guilty. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Sometimes I can be more of that sympathetic person offering someone a sandwich, rather than being the person that sits
I'd
and
rather do
just,
compassion and get 911, help them out of there.
well, but I think I was using it more rather than helping them out. It's more of a person, when
No,
you
I get
feel
it.
like you're in a dark hole and you
Yeah.
just don't, yeah. And so, yeah, we seem to have lost that bit of humanity that we once had within society.
That's also that sixth vibration, by the way. It's
Yes, it
all
is
about
very
compassion and
much.
kindness. It's also the
Yeah.
third eye, if you think about it.
And that is blue lace agus works with the throat, which then in turn works with our intuition,
Yes.
which is your third eye. So think about when you're working with the stones and the messages that they come up and they're sharing with us. So much of what it is and what I have been seeing in the stones for this past year has been compassion, using our voice to speak our truth, using our voice to hear other people. And that's our ears, our throat chakra, using
Yeah.
our ears, and working from that space and place of our heart and grounding ourselves in what it is that the energy that we want and that we're in, because of course we're humans here, or we're spirits having a human experience.
Yeah.
And it's really important that we stay here and connected to that. And so using that blue lace agate to really help in this upcoming full moon, but B, that we're the end. We're in we're in that stretch, people. It's December 6th. We are wanting to start to set that intention, get that that big wheel churning and rolling towards what we want to see our 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And we really need to do it from that space and place of compassionate listening. Well, I'm going to say compassionate listening.
I like it.
Very good. And you didn't freeze, so that's awesome.
Yes.
I am so excited about that. I was trying really hard not to
I was
get.
like crossing my fingers.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. We've been, like I said, it's been interesting. So we'll see.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Yes.
Ooh.
Are you ready, Miss Gayle, to do your bit? I realize,
Yes. But you know what? Let's talk for a second, just a second about Patreon. All right.
Oh, of course. I really want to talk about the Coven of Joy on Patreon. Look at all those members.
Yeah.
And we'd love it if you would come and join us, especially for the year as we grow. As now, Gayle, yes, I am still going to be traveling. I'm not giving up traveling, but Gayle is now in her own space, which will make it very special. And and you too can come and join us and have more one-on-one time with us in the upcoming year on Patreon, especially the amethyst level, because that's where you actually get to join us twice a month.
Mm-hmm. Yep. On screen, in the meeting, asking questions and talking about stuff. We had a really good conversation with Sue and Hair Bear yesterday. And I really loved it. I talked with Hair Bear afterwards, and I asked him, because he's our token male in the group, apparently. And I asked him, did the things
we
that
need
I
them,
say, huh?
We need them.
Yeah, we do. I said, did I come across like I hate men? And he's like, no, he's maybe like you don't trust them. And I sat with that for a few hours, and I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? If women had been doing the same things that men had been doing, I wouldn't have trusted the women either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I felt better about that because it's, but I do have to watch that because I've been wounded enough. It'd be really easy for me to go on the Little Rascals, you know, He-Man Man Haters Club, and that kind of thing. So, if I start getting like bitter, please call me on that shit because I don't want to be that person. But I'm also going to say what's so for me. I'm going to share my truth, right?
Yeah.
But once again, we're making sure that you're being kind and supportive while you're sharing your truth, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Your truth.
Awesome. And like Krista said earlier, and she's very, very right. There's like a running theme through this last 6 months of the crystals that have been pulled a year in advance. And it's all about connecting with your truth, speaking your truth, and doing it in a way that empowers you and supports the world around you, you know, and not being, you know, this is the way I see the world and it's the only right way to see it. But allowing people to share their version of the world with you. And like Krista was saying, listening, you know, with both ears, shutting off the voice in your head while you're listening. You know, you're not listening to reply. You're listening to understand why would they be saying something like that? What has informed their structures as a human being that would have them see things that way? You know, maybe by taking that on, we can actually answer in a way that moves the conversation forward instead of saying the same old shit over and over and over that nobody cares to listen to anymore.
Yep. I agree with that.
Exactly.
You know, you want things to change, say something new, right? So, you know, let's talk a little bit about the fact that we want to be able to speak our truth. We want to be able to connect within to our creator, our source, and understand why we would have been dropped on the planet where we were with the people that we were born into, that family, growing up, having those experiences, and going through the process of kind of unraveling that ball of rubber bands that it creates in us as we become adults and go, well, snap, that one goes, you know? And what else can I maintain or retain that will help me bounce through life, right? So one of the things that we want to take a look at is what Damaris was talking about with Mercury, with Neptune going direct again. So we're regaining our ability to believe in the faith and the things unseen, right?
Yes.
And
that's a lovely way you put it.
Thank you. Yeah, those things are coming back to us. We want to believe again. Go figure, it's the Christmas season. We want to believe, right? We want to have the safety and the security that if we've done the things that we think we're supposed to do this year, that we will be rewarded somehow, that we will be given the things that we would want to have more of, right?
Yeah.
There's that whole, and similarly, waiting for, God, it's only, let's see, today is the 6th.
Yeah.
So we got 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks until solstice, and the light will be increasing again on the planet, right? Yes. And that's a big deal. That is a huge deal for us. You know, it really is. So as you know, that's one of the things to actually focus on right now, is because we believe that light will come back, right? Now think back before we had the technology that took us to the moon and we could look back at the earth, right? Before we had any of these, things that we kind of take for granted today, right? There was a time when we lived inside of nature and not necessarily certain that the sun was going to rise tomorrow or that it was ever going to get warm again after it got cold. I don't care what side of the hemisphere or what side of the equator you're on, that held true, even if it was in opposite months, right?
Yep.
But having that faith that it was going to get warm again, it was going to get warm enough for things to grow again, and so on. And the darkness isn't going to last forever. And again, that's what we need to keep focused on now, right? So we want to make sure that we can connect within. We want to make sure that we can speak our truth, but we don't want to come across as if our truth is the only truth, because it's not.
Nope.
My creator dropped me and my family with my experiences to create a certain being who would be who I am. Krista's creator, who's the same creator, by the way.
Yep.
Dropped her in the family that she got dropped in to have the experiences that would create her the same way. And the same thing for Damaris. And even better, creator dropped Krista and Damaris and I at a particular moment in time.
Imagine that.
Of the planets and where everything was, even the things that we haven't even discovered yet, that in 100 years from now, we will go, oh, well, this 13th planet that we discovered 50 years ago has been, dominion over these aspects of humanity, and when it's opposing and when it's occulting, it has its own energy that it adds to, right?
I love that.
We continue to evolve as we learn more, as we experience more. And the more that we can choose to go within and live our own truth, speak our own truth, while giving space for every other being to also speak their own truth and be heard. Oh, let me take 2 minutes on being heard, because inevitably, when what Damaris is talking about, people who, my version of truth is the truth, right? And I'll go to war for that, right? Now, how these things get escalated, maybe there's two people that have that same point of view. My version's the only right version. My version's the only right version. And instead of listening to the other person's version and going, okay, well, I can buy that part of it. That one there is a little bit difficult for me because this is what I believe about that, right? Right? If we're able to do that, we can resolve those conflicts before it ever comes to bloodshed, right? We can start to understand why that person would see things the way that they do. And for them, that is accurate for the world, right?
I want to say
something for me.
That's how wars are created, Gayle. Where there is no communication, right? And everybody wants to be right and they go to war. I mean, that's how war is created.
Agreed, but that's an ideological war as well, right?
Yes.
Sometimes war is just about land. Yes. That land's got oil in it. I want it. Period. And there's no conversation that's going to change where the oil sits.
Yep.
So
or no compromise. There's no communication, right?
Huh?
There's no compromise where there's a communication. Compromise would probably, avoid the war. No.
Well, yeah.
In ideology.
Yeah,
but not in reality.
Not possession.
In ideology, it will.
That is exactly the war that we're going through with words and ideology, right? With belief systems and communication. That is that energy of Gemini opposing Sagittarius. That's exactly it. And that's what I wanted to just point.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we do need to be listening. We do need to be giving space for the other person's perspective, right? And that is one of the biggest ways that we could actually bring peace to Earth, is to give space for everyone else, for other people's perspectives, and including your own, right? I mean, this is not for any individual to go, well, my opinion doesn't matter. Go ahead, Krista.
Very true. Your opinion doesn't matter, but here's something that's just as important is that, Did I say doesn't matter? Your opinion does matter. It's that scratch what I just said. Your opinion matters very much. Sorry, I was getting lost in my head. But what's more important, not just that your opinion matters, but that it's okay to say, you know what? I actually am learning more about topic A. And, my opinion may be shifting more. The more information I get. Your opinion it grows with you in terms of what your understanding is. The day you choose not to learn or to be open to learning, I'm not saying everybody go back to school, but life is school. This life is a
We're getting a
wonderful-
master's degree in their school of earth. I mean, the
Yeah.
earth school.
Yeah.
That's it. You can change your mind or you can shift your opinion because you've learned, you've grown, and that's okay to do. I think people get stuck in that, what we've been saying, and what they learned. And I can't change my mind. I don't know, it's impossible. Yeah, you can. If it doesn't sound right to you anymore, it's okay to change your mind.
Right.
Sorry,
Right.
I'm all done.
And
I'll get off my soapbox.
And things do evolve, among themselves, but sometimes the other thing doesn't change. I got a really good example of this. Mustard. Okay. When I was little, we would have hot dogs and my mom would say, "What do you want on a hot dog?" Ketchup, relish, no mustard. I don't like mustard. I hate mustard. Mustard sucks. It's awful. I don't like it. Right. And as I got a little bit older and the taste buds that I was born with was replaced by regenerated older taste buds, a copy of the initial taste buds.
Yeah.
I discovered that, okay, so maybe I don't like mustard on my hot dog, but that stuff is really good on bratwurst with sauerkraut, but I would never have found out that I liked mustard on kielbasa, right? If I hadn't been willing to open my mouth and taste mustard on kielbasa.
100%.
Right? If I stayed in that newborn mentality of, no, mustard just sucks all the way around on everything. I don't want that taste anywhere near any of my food.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll try it. Oh, wow. That's kind of good on that. And I still don't like mustard on my hot dogs. But my opinion has evolved about mustard in general. It's not completely useless anymore.
I love that.
Right?
I love that. Yeah. I feel the same about salmon. I used to not eat it. I didn't like it. I don't like it. It's awful. It's slimy. It's gross. I'm not a huge seafood person anyway. But then, the older I got and smoked and grilled, all day long, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like, but no, I still find any pan fried or pan cooked fish is just, it's not for me. Typically, I will try it though, as I did.
Brings up a really, really good point, because any good parent, right, in my opinion, and probably because my family does this, is you got to try it once. If you don't like it, that's fine. You'll never have to eat it again. But you can't say you don't like something just based on how it looks. You have to taste it.
That's it. It's so true.
Looking stuff is really, really yummy. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to try it, right? And just like that, our Creator represents us with things throughout life. Oh, you didn't like it when you were 30? Try it now. You might like it in this way instead, And our Creator, Mother, Father, God, whatever name you want to put on it, chooses to present us with another opportunity every so often to go, do you still feel that way? Why don't you try this way? Why don't you have an open mind about that? And if we choose to allow ourselves to be adventurous, to connect with our own interior and not go, oh, well, everybody else hates dark chocolate, I must hate dark chocolate too, right? You just might find that there are some things that are better with dark chocolate, like raspberries.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I have one of those too, but it's behind there. So I went to the chocolate. I went to Roland Factory outlet store yesterday. Well, coming home.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, because here we got off on a tangent, and I still got to do the cards. So today's card is the Hangman. Yeah, and I love that Hangman, because for me, it's always kind of like he gives me permission to just kind of wait and watch and see how things unfold a little bit, It's time to be patient. It's time to wait. It's time to see how things work out. But that's not exactly how he's coming up today, which is kind of interesting. So according to Galaxy Tarot, which is where I get the card for the day each week, all right, the Hangman is a card of contemplation, patience, and sacrifice. So think about that. That just rolled itself into everything that we were just talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just to listen, to actually open both ears and hear what a person is saying, so that they don't have to raise their voice because they think they're not being heard. Okay. Thinking about what it is that they are saying, possibly even turning it over in your mind and looking at it from different angles than you normally would. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then sacrifice, giving up your rigid opinions about whatever it is, allowing the space for other people to have their point of view, their opinion, as valid as yours is.
That's right.
All right. So the greatest benefit today will be had when you're able to let go. Don't try to control the present situation. Just try to make peace with uncertainty.
There you go.
Never fails. Never fails. Awesome stuff. Love when it pulls
Amazing.
through. Right? All right. And congratulations to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner, Miss Andrea Marie. She's been with us for a year. Thank you for being part of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. All you got to do is reach out to Damaris, myself, or to Krista and let us know, excuse me, which one of us you have chosen, and we'll get you right on the schedule. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
I'll be seeing her tomorrow.
Every week we give away a 30-minute reading. If you pick me, it'll be an intuitive tarot reading. If you pick Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you pick Damaris, it will be a numerology reading. So make your choice, Andrea. Reach out to us and we'll get you on our schedule right away. And always, never forget, everyone listening, please, that at any time you can reach out to any one of us and schedule a reading for yourself. Again, intuitive tarot, crystal, or numerology readings, we are here to serve you. And gift certificates are available, which also make really good stocking stuffers.
Yes.
So we welcome you to reach out to us. We will never reach out to you and solicit business from you. This is our way of letting you know that we're here, ready to be of service. All righty. Awesome stuff. So thank you all once again for being part of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. We love you very, very much. Enjoy this full moon. Put your water out to charge tomorrow. You can even probably start today if you'd like. Okay. And get that energy going for your winter tea. All right. Take care, everybody. Love you all. Bye.